Hello and welcome to another edition of El Segundo magazine. I'm Katherine Chen. When a major natural disaster strikes, it often takes several years for the affected areas to rebuild. One El Segundo resident found a way to help his hometown from across the globe. Just before midnight on April 25th, El Segundo resident Sudeep Giri was still at work when he received a phone call from his mother.
She said, everything is gone, the house has been buried to ground. First I thought, was it really truth? Then later on, after she started crying, then I started Googling and then looking on the news, and then I found out 7.8 earthquake had struck Nepal and all the monuments, all the buildings had been buried to the ground. Everything was numb. I couldn't even feel anything. And one of the heartbreaking thing on the phone was my mom told me that my brother had not picked up the phone.
Sudeep stayed up all night thinking about his family and hometown. He finally heard from his brother, who had escaped the bank he was working at when the earthquake happened.
When Sunday morning my brother called, he told me that they were sharing a tent, a canopy actually, with 7 other families, a small canopy where there were other families living with them. They were able to come closer, share whatever they had. But the worst thing was monsoon rain, it happened same time, and the flooding happened, and a lot of my family members lost their properties, which they were able to get out. And also at night there were looters chasing away the rice and food that we had, and some valuable properties that looters were coming. And my dad, my brother, my uncle and my neighbors, they had to take turns to protect those identities. So all day they couldn't sleep because of building these canopies and finding some at least temporary solution, and at night they had to chase away the looters. So it was almost like a disaster, and aftershocks also made really hard for them. Basically there were 50 aftershock within a month. My home was destructed, at least the half of it has been buried to the ground, and the room with the blue walls in it on the second floor actually is my childhood room. Now the house has been completely demolished and we have cleaned up the property because it cannot be used or maintained.
With the support of his girlfriend Angie, also from Nepal, and his manager at work, Sudeep's feeling of helplessness turned into hope.
With a CrowdRise, I opened a link, sent to my teammates who are working with me. I had 12 teammates. Within 24 hours, we raised $2,500 just through my teammates. Then my director, Vijay, stepped in. He started forwarding to our business partner, our IT director, senior managers, and within a week, we had around $5,000. Right away, when we raised the money, we were able to help 40 families right away with tents. So that was number one thing. People in Nepal needed tent at that time. So Angie talked to her sister and her brother back home, and they managed to get tent with cheaper prices compared to other organizations who were paying higher prices.
I think what people really appreciate about what you're doing is that you're very transparent. You report how every penny is spent, and every penny really does matter. How are the funds used?
Number one thing was to recruit volunteers who were non-paid. So my brother, Angie's sister, her friends who had some extra time, they are full-time working people in Nepal. They have a job, they have a school. So we just asked their extra hours to help, and it was giving them hope. These people who are our volunteers, they needed some means to help people because they are the ones who are in the ground there, and they see all these struggle around, but they didn't have the fund. We had the fund and we needed people like that. So it was win-win situation for both of us, that we provide them fund and they would use it and help them. So that way we were able to just use all of our funds directly to the goods and then distribute through our volunteer. That has been the number one reason behind saying 100% goes to the victim.
More than $13,000 has been raised so far.
So we have helped around 500 people, around 70 families with blankets, toothpaste, baby food, a water purifier, a lot of the other stuffs that are immediate needs, noodles, rice.
The goal now is to provide housing.
So far we have used around, I would say, 40% of our fund. 60% is still with us and we haven't transferred, or we haven't used the fund. Our next step is to open a non-profit organization, which we have. We are officially Care for Nepal, a non-profit organization. Now to get that 501c3 and then go after a bigger organization for their funds, basically help these people, the victims, with their temporary shelter. And we have great ideas through Hilltop Community Church of Christ, through my co-workers, through my friends, building a permanent home for the victims.
What is the best way for people to help out? If people want to donate, contribute, how can they reach you?
They can go to crowdrise.com, Nepal Needs Now. That would be the easiest route through internet they can support. But if they don't want to pay any 3%, 2% charges, they can send the check to Hilltop Community Church of Christ and put Nepal earthquake relief on memo and donate to the cause.
Sudeep and Angie feel a strong connection to the people of El Segundo and are thankful for the overwhelming support.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has donated, and we're really pleased to living in this community and knowing all the wonderful people. And yeah, we're really grateful, and we hope we'll do better and bigger with the help of the Care for Nepal.
I've lived here 2 years, and being part of this community, going to all the events, local events through Recreation Park, and being part of El Segundo, and all the people of El Segundo that have come forward and helped me and read my story, felt my pain, that has given me a lot of courage and a lot of hope to the people back home, and it has given me a lot of belief in myself. I can believe in myself and see that I can make some difference back home.
For El Segundo TV, I'm Catherine Chen.